Just this morning. Yeah, no, that was Friday. So my theory was yesterday, Carlos locked us out, so we wouldn't see.
Carlos wasn't even here.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. So we have a little bit of makeup to do today. Today's Daf Yud Aleph. We left off on Yud Amud Beis. The two dots, last skinning line, halfway down in Yud Amud Beis. So yeah, we had a late start. So all right, today's Gemara should move pretty quickly. I'm trying to get you out of here. Yeah, that's great. So the Mishnah said, so it says over there, one who goes ahead, even if he has partial responsibility, he is obligated to go ahead and pay for the tashlumi nezek. So chavti benisko leiktani, ela but tashlumi nezek. It doesn't say he's obligated in its damage. Rather, it says the payment of its damage. What does it mean? So Tanina, Laha. Right now, we actually have another brayso. The Tan Rabbanan Tashlumi Nezek. So what does it mean Tashlumi Nezek as opposed to this Tashlumin? Tashlumi Nezek Malamid Shabalim Metaflim Nevela. In other words, that the owner, right, the owner of the animal. So if my animal gets, I had $1,000 animal and it got killed, and now it's only worth $200. So the damager has to pay me $800, right? As opposed to the guys, the damager paying $1,000 and taking the dead animal and him dealing with it. No, rather it's the owner that Shabbat Matavli B'Avela. We know how do you know this from? So we're going to bring three sources on Rabbi Ami David Rabbi Kra. The pasuk says, "Maka nefesh v'behema yishal mena." So it says over there, a person who kills an animal, he shall pay al tegi yishal mena ella yashli mena. Right? In other words, complete it. In other words, make the payment complete. In other words, if the animal was worth $1,000, now worth $200, so complete it by paying $800. This is a pasuk by when a person kills an animal. Next pasuk. If an animal goes ahead and tears it apart, and there's a person supposed to be watching someone else's animal, right? And I was negligent, and I allowed an animal to go ahead, and a wolf comes and attack it because I didn't lock the fence, right? So it doesn't say. So it says so it says lo yishalem ad treifa. Yishalem treifa atzma. Excuse me, lo yishalem. Excuse me. So it says, ad treifa yishalim, treifa atzma lo yishalim. In other words, up until the treifa. In other words, I only pay up until $800, but not including it. And Chizki Amar, so that was the pasuk go by watching an animal and you didn't watch it properly. And Chizki Amar mehach, it says over here, when my animal gores and other animals, va'ameis yelo lenizak, and the animal shall be him, the dead animal shall be his, to the damager. In other words, he keeps a $200 dead animal, and I pay me $800. Sorry?
You said damager. It's the nizak is the damager.
Right. The damager pays only $800 because the damager keeps it. Right, keeps it. The nizak. So the pasuk, so the darshan, so nizak doesn't mean that the mace, the dead animal will be his, i.e. the owner. Or it could be the damager. Maybe he gets and he says to write him $1,000 check. So Marta like kachaya. So it says like kachaya. What do you mean by that? If you think that the nevela actually belongs to the damager and therefore he gets to keep the $200 and just write a check for $1,000, so sure, just say replace the ox, and don't write the word v'hamesielo. Lamli, so shmamino lenizak. It must be come to teach you something that it belongs to the nizak. So why need 3 psukim? That says, why do you leave? Because there's just the pasuk of the person who, if I kill an animal, a human kills an animal, it's not shchia. Right, Yud Amud Beis, right, middle of the wide lines. So it's not common for a person to kill an animal, and therefore maybe dafka in that case, the nizak is about treifa. But for an animal to tear apart another animal and he wasn't washing properly, the shchicha, maybe that's common. Maybe I would say that. That belongs to since it was more common, they should be more careful. Therefore, the damager has to deal with the dead animal, and he's writing $1,000. Therefore, we need that case. If it was the case of treifa, Because the person watching didn't do it, right? It just happened. But if I go ahead and kill an animal to be a dime, and therefore I did it, actively, maybe amalo, maybe I should, since I killed the animal, maybe I should have to deal with the carcass. Therefore, amalo. If we had these two psukim, whether I did not watch properly or I damaged the animal, we said one is not common, and the other one says that I didn't lock the doors of the fence. Right, but the pasuk of Amesi Alo, my animal gores your animal, the shchicha, right, and which is common of Yadayim, and therefore my animal is known to gore and it kills your animals. Ema maybe I would say that I have to deal with it. So therefore, no, Kamash Malon, the pasuk tells the teacher that no, the damagee has to go ahead, the nizak has to deal with it. The Yeshmin of Amesi Alo. If we just had that pasuk, Mashum the Bemaina Kamazik, maybe they're over there because my animal, which is my money, is causing damage, and maybe that's the reason why. I don't have to go ahead and pay. But over here, the begufa mazik. But in the other case, where it was he himself did it, i.e., either himself or he allowed it to happen, amalo. So therefore, therefore we need all three psum. And Amar Rav Kana L'Rav Elatam because of Rahman.
We wouldn't have known.
We wouldn't have known that all three of these cases that the nizak has to do with it.
By property damage.
Right. Maybe I would say that the mazik has to do right. That the mazik he has to write a check. So I'm later the Rav Elatam because of Rahman of Amesi Alo. Only because the pasuk says that the carcass belongs to the damagee, to the nizak. So halav hachi have a mina nevela the mazik havi. So I would have thought that it belongs to the mazik. I understand hashta. Yislay the d-day. Kama trefos. I understand. So okay, let's say the mazik has to deal with it. I have to give you $1,000, right? So let's say I have a bunch of dead animals, right? So right, a bunch of carcasses, right? Yashiv, the pasuk says Yashiv l'rabas shava kesef. Ve'afilu subin. The subin day, right? So Gemara says no. So even let's say in case of even bran, right? In other words, so ve'afilu subin. So so over here, I can go ahead and pay with bran, right? So if I can pay with bran, I can also pay him with the dead carcass of the animal. So okay, I keep the carcass, but I can give him cash or the equivalent to cash. Okay, so I'm going to give you $800 cash and a dead carcass, which is worth $200, and that's the same thing. So what does it make a difference whether the nizak has to keep it? I only have to pay him $800, or I get it, but I can pay him with it. Either way, he's getting reimbursed $1,000. So either way, it's it's really the nizak, right? So where's the note? Like nevela. No, because like this, when the animal gets killed, so right when the animal gets killed, it's the meat. Well, not the meat. We can't really sell the meat, but I guess there's more meat to feed to dogs, right? The hide is worth something. But as time goes on, until we go to Beis Din, perhaps the value went down from $200 to $100, or to $125, right? Because I don't want to say $100, right? So $200 to $125. So now, when I pay, do I pay $800 or do I pay $875? Which one is it? So maybe that's coming to teach you that no, the loss is on the nizak. I only have to pay $800, even though when the Gemara din happens, basically he's only being reimbursed $925 because 800 plus the 125. So lema piches nevela tanayos. This is machlokes tonight. The title of the Bryce, it says im tarif yitarif yaviu ad. It says over there. So the pasuk over there says itarif itarif yaviyu aid. You should go ahead and bring a witness. What does that mean? Yaviyu aid. So yavi aidim shenitrafa b'aynes upater. It means over there that no, go ahead and bring witnesses to say that basically it was torn apart b'aynes. It wasn't your responsibility. You were the shamer, and therefore you're pater. Now what does Abishal say? Yavi eduda lebeistin. You go ahead and basically you bring the corpse. Right, the dead animal, the nevela, to the Beis Din. So according to Abishal, right. In other words, over here, that the shomer has to bring it. It's on me, right? So I have to bring it to Beis Din. So why do I have to bring it to Beis Din? Right? It must be that I have to bring it to Beis Din because maybe I incur the depreciation from the 200 to the 125. So maybe it's machlokes tonight. Abishal holds that the depreciation is with me, and the Tanakama does not say that. So the Kama holds that the nizak. So my lab ultimately the Mar Savar Piches Navela the Nizakavi. One says that over there, according to Abishal, right, that the depreciation is on the Nizak, but Mar Savar, right, that holds on the Mazikavi. So the Gemara says no. The kuli abu the nizak. Everyone holds that the loss from the time of the occurrence is on the nizak. Over here we're talking about who has to deal with the nevela. So Vatainis learned in the Brisa. Where do we know that it's upon the owner of the pit to go ahead and take the animal out of the pit? Right. So it says over there, you should return the money to its master and the carcass. Right. So you see over there that it's on the mazik or the owner of the pit to go ahead and bring it to the owner. And Amar Le Abai L'Rava, so hi Tarech Nevela. So I understand this being matriach with the Nevela. Hey Chidam. Ilema de Bebira Shavia Zuza Vaguda Shavia Arba. If you're saying in the pit, it's worth 100. Let's say 2 zuz. But if I bring it up on the pit, right, takes some manpower. Now it's worth 4 zuz. It's ready to go. So Kitarach Manavshik Tarach. So I understand. So I'm doing it for the benefit of myself, because if it was not for my benefit, I don't bring it out. It's only worth 1 zuz. Then I only get credit for a zuz. But if I bring it up, I get credit for 4 zuz, right? So either way, it's the mazik doing it for himself. It's not on the nizak. It's on the mazik. Samalei lo tzricha de bebira shavia zuzah the aguda nami shavia zuzah. No, in the pit it's worth the zuz, and even on top it's worth the zuz. One says, unique high gabna, such things as economics worth the space. Says Tarinchi. Kshuba Masa Zuzah, Kashura the Zuzah, right? You got a beam in the city, it's worth a zuz, and a beam out in the fields, it's worth a zuz. Either way, it's a value commodity, and even though you have to schlep it in, it still has the same value. And Omar Shmuel, new case. Omar Shmuel ain't shamin loy leganav lo legazlan ela nizak. Right? You go ahead and you kill an animal. Let's say a person steals an animal, it dies. So says, okay, I stole your animal. It was worth 1,000. But it died, and here's $200 carcass, and I'll give you $800. No, we don't do that. Ain't shaming not for a ganav, not for gazlan, ellen and Ezekiel, only for damages, right? If I steal it, I gotta pay you what I stole, $1,000. Even a bower who, let's say something happened, the bower on the bower's watch, when he has to go ahead and pay it. Also, even the afla we'll see what that means. And my father, this is what Shmuel said, my father agreed with me that even a bower. So now what does that mean? Doesn't mean that even a borrower, right, like a damagee, right? We go ahead and we assess it. The Abba Maidali and his father was Maidali. Not only for a ganav and a gaza, but even a borrower, we do not go ahead and deduct the amount of the carcass to give it to the owner. My father, agreed with me. So which one is it? So Tashma. There's a person who borrowed an axe from his friend. And Tavar and it broke. Also the Kameh, so he was a borrower. So also the Kameh, the Rav came for a Rav Amalei, Zil Shalim Le Narga Ma'alia. Right? Go ahead and pay him the full amount. So what do you see over there? Ain Shamin by a Shayel. We don't care. Right? You borrowed it, you got to pay it back full. You don't give him back a broken axe and pay him the difference. Shramina, Ain Shamin, with a free Ain Shamin. So Adarabba. Midamile Rav Kahana Ravasi, Rav Kahana Ravasi says the Rav Dina Hachi was a din like this. V'shasik, he was quiet. So Shramino Shamin. So according to Rav Kahana Ravasi, right, then Rav apparently also agreed. So we do evaluate because they question whether this is halacha. So Itmar, so Amar Ula, Amar Rabelazar, Shamin Leganav Legazlan. So they said we do evaluate. There's a new shita even for a theft or something which is stolen, or Papi Amar, Ein Shaman. No, we do not. The Hilchasa Ein Shaman lo the Gadav lo the Gaza. We do not go ahead and assess the new damaged part to deduct it from the amount you pay back for a Gadav or a Gazan. And Abba Sholoi and Aval the Shoyel Shamin. However, for a show, we do go ahead and do it just like Ezekiel, Kid the Rav Kahana, Ravasi, like Rav Ravasi, the Amar Ula, Amar Ravezer. Fine. Period. Aval Shoyel Shamin and Kadav Kana Ravasi. So by the show, we do go ahead and we do assess it just like Rav Kana and Ravasi. Period. Now we're going to be a bunch of cases of random halachas because it has to do with who says. So Amar Ula Amar Rabbi Lazar. Shula Yatsa Miktasa B'Yam Rishon Miktasa B'Yam Sheni. So a woman who miscarries. And her shili, I guess the placenta, right? So it emerges on day 1. So basically, her miscarriage was over 2 days. So we don't know which day the fetus really came out and when she miscarried. So if it's miksasa b'yam risha, miksasa b'yam sheni, the second part was on the second day. We count from the first day. So what are you trying to teach us? You can't teach us chumrah. So this is chumrah l'asadei kula. Who, right? Well, there's a chumrah that comes from a kula. Right now, even though you're trying to be machmir, you count from the first day, but there's actually a kula that comes out of it. The commentator mirishon, because on day 40 or whatever it is, that's day 7 or day 14, whatever you're counting from, right? So the last day is going to be tahor if you don't count from day 2. Tell him a rabba, lachush chaysheshet mimana loy mimina. Now we're chayshish from day 1, but we don't start to count till day 2. Mimana lominana elamishin. We only count for the second day. Samai kamash malo. They meet the shilya b'lei vlad. But that even a part of a shilya, right, part of the placenta that comes out, there is no vlad in it. So Tanina, we actually learned another brisa, 3 lines in the bottom. Shilya shiyasa mitzasa. So let's say you have an animal, you shech an animal. If it has a fetus inside, you don't have to do shechita on that animal, right? What goes with the mother. But let's say part of the fetus came out and it came in, then you shech it. So shilya shiyasa mitzasa asur be'achila.
It says just the shilya that's such.
Yes, correct. So shilya shiyasa mitzasa, part of it, asur be'achila. It's asur be'achila because it's considered the animal have been born, even though only the shilya came out. Right, so therefore we're chayshesh that the part of the animal was already out, even rove, and therefore the animal was already born, and therefore you can't eat it along with the shechita of the mother.
Shilya is more like a blob of
the what?
matter.
The what? The
Shilya refers to like one big.
it's the what's that? The amniotic sac. Right. So, but the fetus is inside. No, but the fetus is inside. In other words, that's carrying, right? In other words, we have to prepare. It's not after the birth, but it was before the birth. They came out, then it went back in. So wait, did the animal come out? If the animal came out, then the animal was born, right? Right. So he says, so he said over there, right? So asur be'achila, why? Because siman vlad be'isha, siman vlad be'ema, right? It's just it's a sign of a birth by a human, by a woman. So there's a sign of birth by an animal. So I would learn from this priceless. There would have thought the yesh mitzvah shilya b'lei vlad. Maybe there is. You could have shilya b'lei vlad. Maybe when the sac comes out, the shilya comes out. Maybe there was no fetus in there, but it's just a gzeira, right? The gzeira makes us al tukula, right? Maybe it's a gzeira because maybe the entire came out, but when a woman, right, when it comes out, obviously there was no birth. Maybe we would say in that case it would be different. So kamash malan. That even though that she didn't miscarry till the second day, but once part of it came out, then we're even chayshish from day 1 that she's tamei. And now another halacha. If a bechor, let's say, was killed by an animal within 30 days, there is no opinion of ben. Maybe you would have thought even though the child's not alive anymore, but it could have lived if it wasn't snatched by an animal. It says maybe you think of nichaf within 30 days. Therefore it says ach. It says ach, the word ach, which is chalak, to qualify that that the child has to be also it has to get to the day of 30. Behema gasa, a large right, is acquired through a mashicha, right, which is pulling the animal towards you. We're not going to get to Kenyatta now. We're just spelled I Tanam Masira. Let's say you hand over the reins. That should be good enough for a behema gasa. So he says no. Who dober ki aitani? He like this time the title of the Bryce both a large and small animal, but mashicha is by pulling. And Rabbi Shimon Omer is behagba, right? Both of them you have to go ahead and lift it. Right, the brothers that divide their estate, Mashaleh and Shaman, we go ahead and we assess their, hey, what clothes are you wearing, right? You're wearing this Brioni suit that comes out of their chelik, and you're wearing this Marshall suit that comes out of your chelik. However, Mashal B'nei Seyam ain't Shaman. However, that which is on their kids and grandkids, or their children, we don't go ahead and assess, because to go ahead and assess it is like shtickle mevaza, and therefore we're not going to bring it to Beis Din to be mevaza. We're not going to bring it. But the sons of the deceased we do. However, there are times even when let's say the clothes or the suits upon from the father's day, we don't evaluate. Why? Let's say the oldest brother Because if the oldest brother is dressed like $1,000,000, then maybe he'll, do good things on behalf of the estate, and therefore, basically, it's everyone's best interest for him to look like a successful businessman. So let's say a person is a shomer, and he gives it over to another shomer. He's watching an animal. He gives it over, hey, can you watch this for the next 2 days? I'm going to be out of town. Potter. He is potter. But let me buy shomer chinam shemasel shomer sacher. Not only a person, let's say, who watched something for free and which he has minimum types of requirements, basically just can't be negligent. And he gives it, says, hey, I'll pay you out of my own pocket for you to watch this because I'm doing someone else a favor. I'll pay you from my own pocket. Not only that case, so because over here there's an extra level of shmira, right? That he's chai for b'kneva v'aveda. Ela filu shomer sacher, even a paid watchman. Hey, can you watch this? I'll pay you. And shemasel shomer chidam, he paid him. It says, hey, can you do me a favor? Watch it for free. The hashtag gurui gari l'shmira. So over here, this guy is a lower level of shmira. Nami pati is also pati. Why? Shari masel ben das, because he gave it over to a person, to an adult who should be responsible. And Rav Omar, Shemer Shemas L'Shemer Chayv. He's actually Chayv. Shemer gives another Shemer. The Levi boy Shemer Safa Shemas L'Shemer Chinam. Not only just that person who's paid who gives someone to do him a favor. Deguri Gari L'Shemir also. That person is a worse type of Shemer because he has less responsibility because he's not paid, right? Ella Filu Shemer Chinam. Even a Shemer Chinam Shemas L'Shemer Safa. Even a Shemer Chinam. Hey, do me a favor, watch it for free. Sure. And then he says, hey, I was told to watch this for free, but I'll pay you $20 to watch it while I'm waiting for the next couple hours. Even that case is chayv. Why? I asked you to do it because if you would have to make a shvua to me, I would trust you. But if this person, who I never asked to do it, has to make a shvua to me, I do not trust. You're allowed to go ahead and collect a debt from an eved. Even from orphans, you go ahead and collect their avadim. Says lo mine only from him. So mine, I understand from him. I feel the guy owes you money. You can even go ahead and take his coat or his clothes that he's wearing. So she also a paitik, right? No, they made the evan and a paitik. Basically he says, okay, I'll lend you money. Okay, give me a collateral. Okay, the collateral is a paitiki, right? From this evan, right? If I don't pay you, you can take away this evan. So could the Rabba, like Rabba said, Dama Rabba, also after a paitiki. Let's say a person made his eved and a paitiki, and then he happened to sell his eved, and the guy defaulted on a loan. Balchov goiva heimeno. The balchov can go ahead. The creditor can go ahead and take the slave from the buyer. Why? However, but if an ox, right? If an ox was the collateral and then he sold to somebody else, I will not be able to go ahead and take the ox from the purchaser. Why is that? The Balchol. Why? My time. Because when I go ahead and I make the paitiki for the eved, so it's known. So therefore, when the guy is making a sale, right, on the eved, it comes out, all the information come out. Oh, this guy is the collateral for a loan. So the buyer is taking that risk. So the buyer took that risk and he lost because the guy defaulted on the loan. But when it comes to the animal, right, there's no public announcement of a sale of an animal. So therefore, since no public sale of animals, the buyer will never know that this animal was the collateral for a loan. So therefore, when the creditor comes along, he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So therefore, in that case, we don't allow him to go ahead and take the animal. The Gemara continues from here, but we'll stop over here. Shkoyach, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. And those who will not be here tomorrow, safe travels. And